Red lights come on now, and the red lights go out now. The race gets underway. It's not a very good start for Stuart Coombs, and Nev Kirkpatrick will pull into the lead with Steve Rideout there in second position, who's made a fantastic start, and he tries to go around the outside of Kirkpatrick. He can't make that. The Mighty Minis have all got away safely too, but down towards the banking they come for the first time, with Kirkpatrick leading, with Rideout in second, Craig, and then the second of the Kirkpatricks, David, in third.
Yeah, super start from Rideout, isn't it? Down the inside, Dave Kirkpatrick. Has he got that done? I think he has. What a beautiful move that is as he comes into church for the first time. Never Kirkpatrick has gone, hasn't he? He's also about second already. He's disappearing, but here is where the toe kicks in, because look at Greg Jenkins already up the back end of Steve Rideout. Is he going to be able to make a chance down through Rocket? I don't think he is, but again, look at the toe from Steve Rideout down the inside. Has he got it done? No, he hasn't. Dave Kirkpatrick manages to save it for another day.
It's a long, long run up towards Rocket in cars that have very little over 1 litre. A little bit wide there for David Kirkpatrick, but he managed to hang on to second place, and he got away from Steve Rideout. Now up to speed is Stuart Coombs, so after not a very good start, it looks like that car is okay, and it's running there in fifth position, but Nev Kirkpatrick's made the most of this first lap, and he's pulling clear of the trio behind. We look back to see the Mighty Minis, and it looks like the leader there's already pulled away, so I presume that was Ollie Samways pulling away from the rest of the gaggle that come through now.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking at the 33 car of Will Tyrrell, and obviously Novice got his odds test done in February, as we were speaking earlier on about. He's still there in the mix as we go back to the leaders. Nev Kirkpatrick looks like he's being caught by his brother. Lock up there from Steve Rideout in the 7 car, and looks like Stuart Coombs is just trying to get on the back of these Super Mighty Minis.
Here come the Mighties, as we said. Greg Jenkins, Ollie Samways pulling clear, but then basically the rest of the Mighties all battling for second place.
Yeah, sorry, just a little chuckle there, because Susie Inch has just dived down the inside of Will Tyrrell for fourth place. She's enjoying herself as we look back at the Supers coming into the bus stop, and it's Nev Kirkpatrick from Dave Kirkpatrick from Steve Rideout from Greg Jenkins, who's struggling to get that car straightened up and get sideways as he comes through turn one as they come back up to the banking.
It looks like there's not much in the way of brake lights coming on into turn one, so these minis are right on the edge as they go through there. We saw them run out over the curb. The lead gap was actually only 7/10 of a second between Nev and David Kirkpatrick, and again they're sliding the cars around as they go through Church Corner, which I presume is flat out in these cars, but only just flat out, and one of them's all over the grass. One slowed. David Kirkpatrick was that who slowed, and then over the grass went Greg Jenkins. So it might be pretty much flat out, Craig, but maybe not easily.
Yeah, well, you were right. It should be flat out there with these sticky tyres, and you could just see Dave Kirkpatrick going very, very slowly, and Steve Rideout's benefited from that, goes into second place with Greg Jenkins there. But again, Susie Inch down the inside, having a look on Ben Butler. She's going to be smiling. There is a lovely photo of her at Fruxton, by the way, as she goes down, as Will Tyrrell locks up and gets the rear end really cocked up, that wheel there, as they say in the trade, and it's Ben Butler still holding that place from Will Tyrrell, and Susie Inch now drops back one.
The Inch family, another family that have been around the championship for a long time.
They have indeed, yeah.
And Susie's who keeping the family honour going in the Mighty Minis Championship nowadays. You can see the novice cross there on the back of 33, Will Tyrrell. We just heard about him having his first outing last time out at Silverstone. Susie Inch looks to the inside, can't get through there though. As up front in the class, Ollie Samways continues to pull clear. Dan Smith is in second now, pulling away from the pack, Craig.
Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he? The adjustments that he's made from qualifying has made an absolute treat for him, because now in second place as Susie Inch goes for that down the inside yet again and gets it done. That's fantastic stuff from Susie Inch, as we're seeing looks like Stuart Coombs down the inside of Greg Jenkins. Has he got that done? Oh, Greg Jenkins got sideways and he saved it. How has he done that? That's incredible, but he's just managed to settle down. I think there might have been a little bit of contact, and it looks like Stuart Coombs has gone, no, do you know what, mate? Have that back, and might have been my fault. As we just come to the start-finish straight, we've got Susie Inch back in front of Tyrrell for that position. Great stuff, and Diddy's on the back of this as well.
So as we suspected, it's hard to know which battle to watch, whether to watch the Supers up front or the Mighties, as we are watching now. Almost free across the circuit, not quite, as Susie Inch then has worked her way there up ahead of Will Tyrrell once again, and then Chris Didcott just just behind. But this is probably all going to change by the next corner, Craig.
Yeah, definitely. Diddy's having another go. Got a podium at Silverstone. He wants another one, doesn't he? So here he goes. Here comes the charge. He was very happy with his car. No problems as such. But you see Tyrrell again going round the outside. Didn't quite work this time, but he's in the tow as they come in down the back straight here as they come up to Rocket. Has he got a chance of a tow? No, it doesn't look like he's got it done there. So we go back to who is that there? That's Diddy, and he's doing a good job in 5th place for the Mighty Minis.
So he's got himself up ahead of Will Tyrrell, as we saw Tyrrell run wide, didn't we, through Church Corner. And again, he braked as late as he did. The second place in the race, Steve Rideout, who did get himself up ahead of David Kirkpatrick with that moment a lap ago. Kirkpatrick re-caught him. He's on the outside line as they go down towards the hairpin, but it's a long way around the outside there, Craig. Yeah,
it is indeed. It seems to be Susie Inch's special, but it doesn't look like it's Dave Kirkpatrick's, but he's trying for the switch back down the inside as they come towards the bus stop. But it looks like Rideout's got it, but again, he was worried about like straight line speed, and you can quite clearly see that's happening. But look at Dave Kirkpatrick, he's having none of it. He's just disappearing into the distance. But a cutback there from Steve Rideout. Is he going to get the inside line as they come into turn 1? He's going to be very brave. Has he done it? This is going to be close. Side by side, we just see him out of shot, coming back into shot. Has he got it? Yes, he has. But Mr. Dave Kirkpatrick is going to shut the door on him like a man from Avon. Fantastic.
So the inside line for David Kirkpatrick then, so he's eventually got through. That move started about 4 corners ago, but it's not actually over yet because Steve Rideout on the inside line as they go up towards Church Corner. We said how quick this corner is in these cars, and Rideout on the inside line retakes second place, but then runs out wide, which loses him momentum. So all the way up the hill, David Kirkpatrick should have the advantage. He's got the tow, and is he going to be able to get alongside by the time they get up there towards Rocket, the left-hander? They're still climbing the hill, and now their break. Steve Rideout's managed somehow to hang on there.
Yeah, he was very brave, wasn't he? He stayed to the inside line. He did not want Dave to get that inside line. He managed to hold it. He got in front of him, stayed there. But again, Dave just looks very, very, he's very gritty. He's like his brother. Once he gets into the zone, he's hard to overtake, and he will be challenging again, as you see, down the inside, having another look. But again, Rideout just keeping that car out wide, giving him a bit of space. And still these two side by side. This is a brilliant little battle going on here for that second place. But still, Steve Rideout holds it.
They're about 5 seconds behind Nev Kirkpatrick, who's just pulled away. We're on the 4th lap of the race. He's done the fastest lap as well, a 1 minute 52.7. But guess what? It's side by side for second place, as it has been most of the lap. This time to the outside goes David Kirkpatrick. He brakes desperately late, tries to carry the momentum on the wide line. That doesn't work, but he might have the exit, therefore, as he carries more speed on the run back up the straight towards the bus stop. He'll have the left-hand side of the circuit, which is the inside line for the final corner, and can he retake that position then as they appear in shot? It is Kirkpatrick ahead, but running out wide up over the curbs.
Yeah, he went wide again, didn't he? And he doesn't seem to like the bus stop at the moment. But going back to the Mighty Minis, Ollie Soundway is absolutely gone, isn't he? And he'll be really enjoying that. I'm sure it's got something to do with that Solero he had earlier. But Dan Smith in second. Ben Butler now under pressure. And Susie Inch has gone for the inside again. She's got that done, has she? Yes, she has. That's fantastic. Susie Inch, take a bow. Your dad will be very pleased. And there we go. It's Brian in he was just spun there, sorry to say. And he's using the rental car from Steve Rideout, and he said he was a bit off pace. He's had a few adjustments, and unfortunately he just spun there, but well done for him to keep on pushing.
So the Mighty Minis continuing to be led by Ollie Samways. The gap there is over 5 seconds to Dan Smith. Then the battle for third position within that class is being headed by Ben Butler, with Susie Inch and Chris Didcott and William Tyrrell behind. And we had that spin, didn't we, for Bryn Pearce, who's managed to get him. He hasn't managed to get himself back going. So this could be a problem, because that car is stuck down the circuit up at the hairpin. The Supers aren't quite there yet, but they're not very far away, with David Kirkpatrick continuing to battle away with Steve Rideout. So they may be battling for second, but they're probably having more fun than the race leader, Nev Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about, as we just see in the background there, Susie Inch having another challenge on Ben Butler, but flags are out, and you see that yellow flag with the car. That's a standstill with Bryn Pearce, but back with the battle for that third place. And again, again, Susie Inch, as we were saying earlier, she wants a podium. She's getting closer and closer. Ben must be thinking, how is this happening? How is this happening? There is yellow flags out and safety car as well there, Josh.
Yeah, so the safety car boards have come out. The safety car's gone out, so yellow flags will start to go around the circuit. Not sure if the Mighty Mini leaders have seen these flags yet, so that battle continues until they do. And Susie Inch may well get that position before they get to the yellow flags, because you can race until you see a flag, which I think they may have done now, but potentially before that, hopefully for Susie's case, that there weren't any yellow flags when she took third position away from Ben Butler. But obviously with that car in the middle of the circuit, nothing else really could be done apart from bring out the safety car. So that means this a bunch the field back together, and the rescue teams up at the hairpin will go back into action. Seems to be a few moments happening up there over the course of the day. We had that golfer up there in the last race, and this time for Bryn Pearce. You said he had a few issues this morning as well there, Craig.
Yeah, obviously new to the the championship. Obviously renting the car from Steve Rideout, Octane Racing. Go and give him a shout out on Facebook, please. That'd be great. He basically does most of the setups on all the Mighty Minis and a couple of the Supers. So yeah, it's just a shame for him that he's just come out, done the qualifying, a few adjustments. It's just not quite panned out for him today. But again, always tomorrow.
So I wonder if the car stalled when he had that spin, and then because it's hot, it struggles to restart.
Starter motors common on these, and solenoid obviously went for Greg Jenkins, which hence why he was late this morning, and very similar issue with Stuart Coombs, but that ended up being the engine. So, but I'm going to mention, now that the cars are under safety car, we've got Neville Kirkpatrick, who's been absolutely flying away with it. Now, tyre degradation is going to be massive, because when he starts his fast lap again, when the green flag goes, they're going to be back up with him, and if he's been racing the way he has been racing, there's going to be not a lot of tyre left.
Running in your race suit is never good fun.
No, definitely not. I couldn't do that if I was Ginger. So, well, I am Ginger. What am I talking about?
So for Bryn, he's managed to get himself to a place of safety. But yeah, the Nev Kirkpatrick was leading by 8 seconds before the safety car come out. So that lead will come to nothing over his brother, David Kirkpatrick. But over the course of the race, Nev, in qualifying, he was 1.2 seconds faster than anybody else. In the race, he's been 1.7 seconds faster than anybody else. He's just extended his speed differential to the rest of the pack. Yeah,
he must have enjoyed seeing in the paddock. He was literally sitting on the trailer, just enjoying life while everyone was stripping bits and ripping bits off and adjusting stuff. So yeah, that car is well set up, and great shout to Neil Slark there and crew, but yeah, he's just unstoppable at the moment, isn't he? He's just absolutely flying around this track.
I think you said second race of the weekend to have reverse grids, so tomorrow that will mix the pack up a little bit. Yeah,
it's sort of like a BTCC idea. Pick the ping pong ball out, and you're praying that you're going to be at the front, but if you're not, then you're at the back. But yeah, it can mix up a lot of things. Obviously, Ollie Soundway started from the back of the grid in the final race at Silverstone, and he won it. So, and the same with Neville Kirkpatrick. If he knows he's starting at the back, it's not going to stop him from going through the field like a knife through butter. So we'll see what he does tomorrow.
So it looks like the Mini's been recovered, and that means the safety car lights are out. So a great job there by everybody down at the hairpin. So a big thank you to you all. So the safety car is in, and with 7 minutes to go, the green flags will wave, and it's a pretty decent restart for Nev Kirkpatrick. He's got a few mini lengths over David Kirkpatrick as they turn into turn 1, with Steve Rideout there in third. Fourth is Stuart Coombs, and fifth is Greg Jenkins. Then the Mighty Minis come through with Ollie Samways leading the way from Dan Smith, Susie Inch, Ben Butler, Chris Didcott and William Tyrrell. But down at the banking are the leaders, Craig, and has David Kirkpatrick kept with his brother?
He has indeed, hasn't he? And I was just wondering if Rideout and Dave Kirkpatrick there in the 10 car were going to help each other to climb onto his brother Nev Kirkpatrick in the 1 car, but I don't think he needs to, because he's in the tow and he's right behind his rear bumper, and he's going round the outside as they climb the hill to Rocket. Has he got this done? This is going to be a great move if he has, and Nev's not going to give it up. He's going to fight in his brother, and Dave will want to beat his brother because it's a very tough task, and he's gone off the track. They've both gone off the track, and where is Steve Rideout? Come on, Steve, where are you? There he is. Oh, that was, I didn't mean that, did I? But there's Steve Rideout. He's there in third place. place, and even though they both went off the track, they're still in first and second. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they had that tarmac runoff up there that just helped them out a little bit. But now Nev Kirkpatrick runs a little bit wide. It's side by side behind as well. So that safety car period has really brought the race alive in the supers. So there we see Stuart Coombs and Greg Jenkins going wheel to wheel there down into Siemens. But which of the Kirkpatricks is it out front? What's happening in the Mighty Minis as well? Is that Ollie Samways going away? But here are the leaders overall.
Yeah, here they come as they come into the hairpin now, and it is still Nev Kirkpatrick. It's brilliant to see them side by side there, and just a shame that Rideout couldn't have that opportunity to gain that first place. But as you can see, as they climb back down to the bus stop, it's still Nev Kirkpatrick from Dave Kirkpatrick with Rideout in third, and Stuart Coombs has got that position from Greg Jenkins.
Desperately late on the brakes for the leader, Nev Kirkpatrick, and he just slid a little bit wide because of it, and he's therefore just unable to break the toe at this stage, so he's trying ever so hard to do so. It's the battle for fourth again goes wheel to wheel with Stuart Coombs just ahead of Greg Jenkins, but we're concentrating on the top three in the race in the supers as they head up towards the banking, but so they've sorted themselves out, and Stuart Coombs still there just ahead of Greg Jenkins within the battle there for fourth position. But Nev Kirkpatrick then, he leads. We saw how the toe can come into effect. Again, he's run wide as they come out of that corner. If we look back at the Mighty Mini battle, because Ben Butler's got himself up ahead of Susie Inch at the start of this lap to take third position. But for the lead of the race overall, it's side by side as they go up towards Rocket. This time it's David Kirkpatrick on the outside. Again, they both brake really late. Are they going to stay on the track this time? Just about. And Nev Kirkpatrick's held the lead, Craig.
All it's doing is it's just damaging the tyres. Every time they're just going overshooting, wearing those tyres down. I'll tell you what, though, Yokohama are going to be so proud of Nevin, because this is a great statement, duration of the tyre. But Steve Rideout could have an opportunity here. There's maybe 3 laps to go, and if they keep doing that, Rideout's going to have an opportunity to take the win here.
Yeah, I think they'll have 2 to go at the end of this lap, so 3 including the one they're on. The corner marker's just gone for a Burton. I think that was David Kirkpatrick who took a tighter line than perhaps expected through the corner, so one of the corner markers is now no more. But the battle continues. So again, Nev Kirkpatrick's been really strong on the brakes. That way he tries to pull clear, but he just can't break the toe. He managed to do it on the initial start, but on this restart, David stayed right with him. He's defending to the left-hand side of the circuit. To the outside comes David Kirkpatrick, but again, Nev on the inside holds on. And lap ago, he run wide here coming out of the final corner. This time, he's got it much better, so he leads with 2 laps to go. Yeah,
fantastic stuff from Nev, didn't he? Did very, very well there. It looked like it was going to go slightly wide, but he's managed to hold that line, and Dave Kirkpatrick still chasing him down. As you can see, slightly different lines from the two brothers. You would have thought they'd have been quite mimicky, so you thought they'd do the same lines, being brothers and all, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Tighter line there from Dave Kirkpatrick, a wider line from Nev Kirkpatrick, so it looks like he likes the car to slide a lot more, but this is where he's very, very quick, is Dave, through this corner. But it looks like Nevin's got it done this time. A little bit of a gap as they climb from Church up the hill to Rocket, and doesn't look like he's got that toe he wanted. Oh, has he? Because he is. He's closing, still closing. He's round the outside. Is he going to get this done? Hard on the brakes they go into the hairpin. Has he got it? No, not again. He's still gone wide. But again, Rideout is just sitting there waiting. It could be his opportunity any moment.
So we've got a really good visible illustration there of the toe in the Mini, especially as they go uphill towards Rocket. That's where the momentum and therefore the slipstream are sitting in the slipstream of the cars in front. So the top 3 in the Super Mighty Minis head their way back down towards Siemens. Meanwhile, on the parallel side of the circuit, the battle for third position in the Mighty Minis continues. It's still Ollie Samways ahead of Dan Smith. And then behind them, Ben Butler and Susie Inch and Chris Didcott and William Tyrrell all dicing. But we're concentrating on the Supers and the lead of the race, because again, David Kirkpatrick looks to the outside. There will be 1 lap to go at the end of this one. And Nev Kirkpatrick's yet to lose the lead, Craig, but he's ever so close to doing so on a few occasions.
Yeah, it's going to be very bold now for Dave. Does he have an attack here? He is going for an attack into the bus stop, but I think if he's clever, we've said this so many times in the Minis, if you're second on the last lap, your potential to win is better. So let's see what he does. Is he going to go for a little chance as they go through turn 1? No, he doesn't. Is he going to go through the banking? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Church and up to Rocket. That's his opportunity. Whereas we see Susie Inch again trying to move on Ben Butler. She really wants a podium and she tries to get inside on a little clip of the rear light, and there's a wave from Ben Butler. I'm not too sure what that was. I don't know if that was a thank you or I don't know. I'm not too sure. But it's Ben Butler still holding that podium spot, but Susie Inch wants it. She's looking hungry.
Yeah, so they'll be about to start their final lap of the race in a moment, with Ben Butler leading that group of cars onto the final lap. Meanwhile, the leaders of the race are getting themselves up towards Rocket. So watching those cars so side by side. Here they are around the outside, this time from David Kirkpatrick, who brakes really late. They're both up onto free wheels as they tried to get the car turned in. But Nev Kirkpatrick, he just about had that one covered on the inside line. A different attack that time from David Kirkpatrick, the outside line. But they were using all the brakes that these minis have to full potential. So there's a couple more opportunities left, but perhaps Nev Kirkpatrick's just slightly got a bigger lead than he has since the restart. Yeah,
definitely. We use this, my commentary term is he's used all the track and a little bit more. You'll hear that quite a lot in the next few years. But what a brilliant race between the two brothers. They'll be smiling when they come into the paddock in a few minutes, but unbelievable stuff. It still isn't over though, because he's gone wide again, has Nev, and again exit speed from Dave is brilliant. So has he got this done? He might have another opportunity. He might go brave and go around the outside, try and get the cut back through the bus stop. He does. He goes wide. He goes to the outside. And look at that defence from Nev Kirkpatrick on the inside. He goes later on the brakes. Is he going to do it? This is fantastic for the final corner, and it's going to be Nev Kirkpatrick, or is it? Because Dave Kirkpatrick has nearly done it. Oh my goodness me! It was a car length. That was it. It was a literal bumper between Nev Kirkpatrick and Dave Kirkpatrick on the final corner. Brilliant stuff.
So 0.19 of a second, Nev Kirkpatrick takes the victory over his brother David. He ran a little bit wide, but not too wide. Steve Rideout took third. Greg Jenkins got the better of Stuart Coombs on the last lap to take fourth. The Mighty Minis are on their way home as well. Ollie Samways leads by about 5 seconds over Dan Smith. This is the battle for third within the Mighty Mini, which is far from over, with Dan Smith there. With Ben Butler, I should say, just ahead of Susie Inch, as Ollie Samways wins for the third time this season. He crosses the line now, but we watch the battle for third to the end. It looks like Ben Butler's going to hang on. There's a big dive up the inside behind them as Will Tyrrell gets himself back ahead of Chris Didcott as they come up across the line. And it's almost a photo finish between those two. But it was Ollie Samways then who won by 7 seconds in the Mighty Minis over Dan Smith, with Ben Butler third. Susie Inch, Will Tyrrell and Chris Didcott completed the runners in the 10-lap Mighty Mini Championship race. But a cracking battle after the safety car period. The first part of the race, it didn't look like much was happening in the sequence, and it all came alive, Craig.
Yeah, exactly. That was fantastic. Just what it needed, didn't it? Just to get them back up and running. Again, just showing the degradation on the tyre from the Super Minis there. But there we go. Fantastic stuff from Nev Kirkpatrick. Brilliant stuff. Well,
let's see if we can take a look at the results then of the third round of the Mighty Mini Championship. And the victory went to number one, Nev Kirkpatrick, by just 0.19 of a second over his brother David. In third position was Steve Rideout, fourth to Greg Jenkins and fifth to Stuart Coombs. Sixth, the Mighty Mini winner was Ollie Samways, ahead of Dan Smith and Ben Butler, with Susie Inch, Will Tyrrell and Chris Didcott completing the finishers. And we saw Bryn Pearce have that spin and retirement from the race. So we'll have more Mighty Mini action tomorrow, and we have the reverse grid to look forward to. There is Ollie Samways, who we haven't really seen much of because of his domination, but he'll be delighted with that one.
Yeah, definitely. He actually smashed obviously the steering wheel, and luckily these don't have airbags, so I think it would have gone off. But he was very, very happy with that performance. But well done to Dan as well. Managed to get that second place. Was slightly quicker than Ben Butler, and a massive shout out to Susie, and she'll be over the moon with that. That's going to bring her some confidence going into race 2 tomorrow.
Yes, we look forward to that. Thanks for joining us, Craig. We look forward to having you back again tomorrow. The Mighty Minis are on towards the end of the morning, around 11:30, so another 20 minutes of racing to look forward to tomorrow. Yeah, indeed, and I'm going to try and find some shade while you enjoy yourself in the comms box, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Anglesey, and incredible stuff from the Orange Army outside, because it is not easy out there. Well done. No, it's warm up here, but we've got the luxury of being inside, being out in the sunshine. Big thanks again to all of our volunteer marshals who are helping us run this meeting at Anglesey. So we will be moving on shortly to the Yokohama Low Cost Championship, which won't have a green flag lap. So for Andy McEwen here, be trying to grab a word with our winners within the Mighty Minis Championship once they make their way down to Parc Ferme. After the low cost, we will have the 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup, the 750 Motor Club Bike Sports Championship and the Calm All Porsche Trophy. So lots of racing still to look forward to today here at Anglesey, courtesy of the 750 Motor Club, and this coverage brought to you by Alpha Live. So Andy McEwen has just now got cars making their way down into Parc Ferme, so I give them a moment just to get out and grab a breath after that entertaining race from the Mighty Mini Championship, who are guesting with us here this weekend. Just a reminder of the remainder of the season here at the Mighty Minis. They'll be racing at Thruxton next month, which will be part of the big historic meeting at Thruxton, so that's something to look forward to there, Craig. Yeah,
no, I haven't commentated there either, but I've had the pleasure of going around the championship winning car, Mark Price's Mini. It's frightening. So yeah, and that was in a Mighty Mini, so God knows what it's going to be like in a Super that's got heavy toe, but it's going to be super. Can't wait for that one. It's going to be exciting, that one. And then at Cadwell Park, back with the 750 Motor Club in July for Mighty Minis. The Mini Festival at Brands Hatch in August. Donington Park back with 750 Motor Club again in September. And Castle Combe, who are home of the Mighty Minis nowadays. So Andy McEwen is down there in the Parc Ferme. So let's grab a word with the race winner.
Well, what a fantastic Mighty Mini race that was. The safety car really transforming that race, allowing Nevin and David Kirkpatrick to put on a real show for us at the front. We're going to start with Nevin, our race winner, but Nev, that was anything but certain.
The safety car didn't do me any favours at all. I thought it was okay then. But about halfway through the race, my brakes glazed over completely and I had nothing. So trying to keep David behind me was extremely hard work, and yeah, good race though, and yeah, very grateful to my family for making a long journey here as well to watch it. So thank you very much.
Well worth the travel, that's for sure. David, your perspective on what was a terrific battle there in the first half of the race with Steve and the second half with your brother.
Yeah, well, I was following him all right for the start, and then I couldn't get it into fourth gear. The clutch just stuck down. I was like, oh no, and I dropped back, and then it came right again, got going, had a fight with Steve, got past him, and then the safety car came out, and I was like, oh, that's handy, isn't it? I'll have a go now. And yeah, I was being a bit aggressive towards the end, but I could have probably made a few more moves, but kept both cars in one piece, and yeah, it's a good result. But other than that, all good.
Fantastic battle to watch, that is for sure, between the Kirkpatricks. Look forward for more of that tomorrow. Steve, third place for you in that one then. Not bad, but it was almost second, wasn't it?
Almost, yeah. Had a bit of fun with Dave, which was good. Couldn't quite catch Nev. I was trying to say their troubles because I thought they might take themselves out, but they didn't.
Tried to play the long game. How much were you struggling with tyres, if at all, there?
Towards the end, they start to warm, get a bit spongy, bit looser. End up going across the curves a bit more, but yeah. But all in all, good race. Enjoyed that.